90-day the single life. The place that we are guaranteed for the moving mad vibe, which isn't a good one. But let's start off this week's episode regarding the single life with Gino and Natalie. And I gotta say, Natalie realistically should be massively ashamed of herself. Find out why now.
This was so much better than the first time. Seeing this freaky side of Natalie took all my anxiety away. I had no problem throwing my hat off and getting down.
Just imagine going on national television and letting the whole world know that you slept with Gino. That is a very, very good way to let every single man that watches this to know how you value yourself. And to be honest with you, based on what she says in this episode, it really exposes things even more regarding, well, why she was so easy to go for a guy like Gino. Let's get into it.
First, Bella has never seen me happy with a man in my entire life. They are toxic, they're liars, they're not honest. I had an ex and I knew it. So ex that was a serial cheater, and I knew it.
That explains absolutely everything when it comes to Natalie. You know, I still do believe that she came in the show for a paycheck, to be honest with you. But I also now have more of a feeling that maybe it wasn't just a paycheck. Maybe she did actually have a feeling for this man, Gino. But why? Because maybe she's been in a life where every man she's been with has been at a certain aesthetic standard. But she thought all of these aesthetic men, even they will continuously cheat on me, continuously not treat me right. So why don't I downgrade myself? Why don't I go for a guy that isn't as aesthetically good looking as the men before? So she does that and does that with Gino. But then what happens? She does that with Gino and then finds out straight off the bat that this man didn't even have the cojones to tell his ex-wife that they were actually separated, so therefore he could continue a relationship with her. Because you see, if he had done that, then Jasmine would have never been in a position to do what? To attack Natalie like we saw them in the first time of them meeting in Happily Ever After. But nonetheless though, she decided to give this man another chance. A man that is literally not even good enough to be standing next to you, you give him another chance. Okay? And now she's not surprised that her daughter's feeling the way she's feeling. We saw last week the daughter was not receptive to Gino in any shape or form. And now we're about to hear exactly what the daughter has to say. And again, it makes so much more sense why the daughter behaved the way she did. Because she is nothing but embarrassed by her mother's choices in men. This isn't about the fact that Gino doesn't aesthetically look as good or good enough to be next to a woman like Natalie, but then again, who am I to say that, right? Everybody has their preferences. But either way, though, this isn't about that. This is more of the fact that her daughter has seen mummy continuously give men chances who ain't shiz. Men that will happily put her mother in situations that are not healthy. And therefore, what is Natalie doing? She is displaying she's not displaying a good relationship, a good healthy relationship in front of her child. So of course the child has got to the point where she said, you know what, I've had enough.
So when it comes to Gino, Bella has her guard up. I just wanted to know why you didn't show up today.
But I can't stand by and watch you embarrass yourself by associating, with such a troll like Gino. Feel the need to extend any grace to him at all after how badly he disrespected you in Michigan.
After how badly he disrespected you from Michigan. Now let's just put that one even into more perspective. Your daughter has seen you being disrespected by men time and time again. And these men will probably be men that have lived closer to you. But you've traveled all the way to Michigan. All the way there for this man to put you in a position of disrespect. And now you want me to give him a chance? Maybe you want to give him a chance. But I ain't giving none of your guys a chance anymore. Because your choices as a mother have been nothing but appalling. That's exactly what the daughter's saying here. I'm just translating.
At this point, don't expect me to support it anymore.
Well,
I just think you're just too beautiful and smart and successful to be with such a spineless loser like him. And I wish you saw that too.
Whoa.
You see that reaction from Gino? See, the last thing the daughter says in this clip anyway is, I wish you saw that too. And Gino's reaction is, whoa. Is that the reaction you're looking from Gino at this moment in time? If you are a woman, hell, even if you're a man in this situation, is that the type of reaction you'd be looking for from Gino right now? Or would you be looking for something a bit more different? A bit more around the lines of, oh, I didn't realize what I did impacted your child so much. I'm so sorry for this. Not whoa, whoa, whoa. But it only gets worse.
Are you okay?
No.
It's a lot of nasty words that Bella was saying about me. How bad of a person I am, what trash I am. She didn't even give me a chance. She didn't even show up and meet me.
He's more focused on the fact that the daughter hasn't given him a chance rather than focusing on the fact that he should be giving Natalie some comfort. He should be speaking with her and saying, hey, how can I help? How can I change this? You know, is there a way that I can, you know, do something that's going to allow your daughter to give me a chance? I know I messed up massively, but I want to try and see if I can, you know. But none of those words ever came out of his mouth. Because Gino only thinks about, well, you know who he thinks about.
You know, how do you feel about me, I guess?
I would like her blessing.
So basically our relationship is kind of like on hold till you get her blessing.
Freeze right there. The answer is not as simple as that. It's easy to sit there, yes, our relationship is on hold until my daughter gives us the blessing. That is the very simple answer, but that's not the actual answer. The real answer is, in fact, the question is, that's not even the right question. The question isn't to ask. So your daughter isn't going to give the blessing to she's happy. No, that's not the right question. So therefore, the answer to that is even more irrelevant. The real question should be, because I've upset your daughter by upsetting you, I can see how much she cares and loves you. So is there anything that I can do that can get your daughter to accept me? Because I don't expect you in any shape or form to pick me over your child. So is there anything that I can do to win your child over as well as also winning your trust back? Something along those lines. Something that says that you care. But is Gino the kind of person who has that mindset? No. Why? Because Gino only cares about one person. You know exactly who that is. Let's continue.
If she doesn't change her mind and she doesn't give her blessing, what would happen, you think, between stay over my place
I'm
tonight?
going to try to go over to see Bella.
Okay.
And then has the audacity to sit there and say, so are you still going to stay at my place tonight? You think that's on her mind right now?
It's important to me that we don't end a conversation on a negative note. Trust my judgment. She's never seen me in a healthy relationship. All right, well, let me get packed.
This trip would bring Natalie and I closer together. I could use a drink. Imagine hitting it off with Bella, and then in the future, potentially becoming a father figure to her. So her daughter not wanting.
First and foremost, it's nice to see Natalie recognize that her daughter does not trust her own judgment. And also in that same breath, Natalie also should be recognizing that clearly she has failed miserably as a mother in terms of being a role model when it comes to her dating life. Okay, only that aspect. Maybe she's failed in other areas, but this is the aspect that we're speaking about, but this is the one that we're seeing. But let's go back to what Gino just said here, this freaking cock.
Imagine hitting it off with Bella, and then in the future, potentially becoming a father figure to her. So her daughter not wanting anything to do with me, it's impacting the dreams that I had for my life. This was so much better.
Get this straight. So Gino had dreams of being a stepfather to Natalie's child. He had dreams of stepping into Natalie's child's life and being that father figure, to be that father role model. And because he's been rejected, it has affected his dreams. Or did I just misunderstand what he was saying here? Because I was like, what? Are you listening to what you're saying? How does that even make sense? Honestly, when it comes to Gino, this is somebody that, well, if you ever have any hope in him actually ever saying anything that is sensible, him actually behaving in a way that makes sense, him doing anything that is credible, him just making us feel as if like he's not that much of a bad guy, probably never going to happen. I have to be fair, but he's definitely one of the most self-centered cast members of all time. Sometimes I sit and I say to myself, seeing the way the relationship has gone down with him and Natalie, and don't get me wrong, I do not feel sorry for Natalie for one bit, because she's a grown-ass woman who's making her own stupid mistakes, making her own moving mad mistakes, and that is down to her. She's choosing to not be reality ready. She's choosing to put herself on national television with Gino. But anyway, let me go back to what I wanted to say. But sometimes when I see him in this relationship with Natalie, this is when I say to myself, him and Jasmine was actually a good match. Because you know what? He deserved every single thing that Jasmine did to him. The shouting, the screaming, taking his money, getting a green card of him. Every single thing, she deserved it. But then in the same breath, every single thing that he did to frustrate Jasmine, to put her through headache after headache and all these things, Jasmine deserved it too. Point being is, you know what? Them two bloody hell did deserve each other because they're both just not very good people. And that's just me being polite. Simply moving mad. But hey, let me know your thoughts. Let me know your thoughts and we can talk about it. Now we're going to move on to the next one. And this one is all about Vanja.
You're going to Ibiza in a couple weeks. There's going to be many socials in Ibiza too. There's going to be many socials in Croatia as well.
So you think I'm gonna go cheat on you with a guy in Ibiza?
What I'm trying to say is, like, you're going to dance with random guys. What's going to happen?
I have a good time, so because they want to have a good time, I need to be punished, and I'm gonna be, yeah. So you're trying to accuse me of.
You know what the thing is though? You know when somebody does something and they don't recognize that this action has actually made someone feel this way, which is why somebody sometimes can they say things that you didn't say, but they say it based on your actions. This is the thing that Vanja isn't understanding here. You know, I feel like when it comes to Tony and Vanja, both of them two are wrong in many ways. I feel like Tony is wrong in the way he delivers things, but he's right in terms of what he's trying to say. I feel like Vanja is just deaf. And no offense to anyone out there that actually cannot hear, but this woman walks and she behaves that way. But let's just dive into this nonsense here real quick. So, let me make my points. At the end of the day, him saying what he's saying, he's just simply saying to you that we was in this dance class. You went to dance with another man because I wouldn't dance with you. And then also on top of that, I could see how happy this man was to be dancing with you. So if you go to Ibiza, yes, I know Americans say Ibiza, in Europe say Ibiza because that's how they pronounce it in Spain, you know what I'm saying? So we respect their pronunciations. But you see, in Ibiza now on the other side, if she's there and she's dancing with men who are having a happy face, what he's trying to say is that these men are definitely going to try on with you. Whether or not you go the full mile is entirely up to you, but the fact is, he's trying to say that you are putting men in positions where they believe they have a chance with you. That is the problem, and that's what he's trying to address. The issue is he can't address it properly. But let's continue.
Of something that I haven't even done yet.
So I
danced with a guy after dance class after you said that you don't want to dance. And now you're accusing me of dancing with random guys in Ibiza and like potentially cheating on you. I was a dancer when we started dating. He was a dancer when we were friends. I trust me. You
know, I feel like with Vanja, she doesn't understand a balance. She doesn't understand a balance. Tony doesn't understand how to communicate. Okay, look at it this way. If you decide to get into a relationship with somebody who is a dancer, okay? You know what their profession is. Now, of course, when it comes to her profession of being a dancer, as far as I understood, her dancing was just her dancing by herself. She dresses up, she does all the da-da-da, you know what I mean? Obviously, a whole lot better than me. But I didn't realize her profession was involving actually dancing with other people. But here's the thing, though. There's a fine line with dancing with people because it's in a professional setting. You have a dance partner because professionally, you two are linked together to do so. That makes sense, okay? Now, of course, if you are in a different profession now where it involves you dancing with a crowd, okay, cool, that is your profession. If that is your profession, that is your profession. But here's the thing, though. When we saw her dance with the guy at that dancing lesson, that wasn't based on any profession. That was based on the fact, I want to dance, you don't want to dance with me, so I'm going to go dance with someone else. And what does she do? She finds a good-looking guy who looks like a bloody ex. Looks like the last guy that she slept with. Okay, and Vanja keeps saying I've been single for 7 years. You haven't been single for 7 years because we literally saw you a year ago or 2 years ago with two guys that you dated, and one of them you slept with. One of them even flew all the way to America to see you. But for some reason, she keeps saying they're single for 7 years. That tells me a lot about her character. She only wants to say things that she wants to believe, not the things that are actually in reality. She only wants to listen and believe things that she wants to believe rather than the things that are actually reality. Darling, you have not been single for 7 years. You have been single literally for maybe a year and a bit, maybe 2 years, like whatever. Slow your roll on that one, you know what I mean? But nonetheless, though, the matter of the fact is the scene where we saw her step and dance to the guy, that was not professional. That was by choice. And Tony's simply saying that when you go out there, I don't know if you're going to be dancing with people professionally or if you're just going to be choosing to dance with any single guy just because you want to dance. And when you do that, you're putting those guys in positions where they are going to want you. And I ain't saying that you're going to want them back, but understand that That's not a safe thing to do, or nor is it a cool thing to do. Let's just put that into perspective. But hey, do what you want with that information. Now let's continue with this calamity of a madness.
He should know who I am. He should know what I stand for. He should know that I would not do anything to disrespect him or put our relationship in jeopardy.
It's not about you not doing anything. It's about the position it's about the position that you're putting yourself in. He's a man. He knows how men think.
She's been single for a very long time. She still does things her own way. I'm concerned that sometimes Vanja may not look at the big picture of when you're in a relationship, it's about compromise.
1000% agree. I don't think compromise even exists, because when things don't go, she's like, well, I'm a single woman. You know, I've been single for this many years. I'm an independent person. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, shut the hell up. The moment that you want to date someone, guess what? You're not a single independent person anymore. You're now in a partnership. Okay, compromise is what's needed. You beg for this man to make you his girl. You begged him to do so. You finally did it, and now you don't want to compromise because you still want to have that single mentality. And she wonders why she's still single after all these years, and why her relationship hasn't worked after all these years. The girl only cares about herself.
And I brought up concerns about her traveling and dancing with other guys in other clubs, and she completely said, hey, that's my prerogative, is to have fun. Hey, you can do whatever you want. You said I can have fun, I can dance with whoever.
What do you want me to do? Then just stay in my hotel room the whole time I'm there?
He wants you to be respectful. He wants you to understand that you are now in a relationship, and he needs you to just be respectful and to just to bear certain things in mind. She sees it as he's trying to control her, and I will say this, based on the way he is communicating, I can see why. I can see why. But this is not a controlling situation. This is a situation just letting you know that we need to create boundaries, and I need you to also understand certain things if we're going to work. But the thing is, she sees all as an attack rather than a conversation of where can we meet in the middle. But again, that's probably due to his delivery. Delivery is so key, ladies and gentlemen, and so are the words that you choose.
I is acting like a complete control freak, trying to tell me how to live my life. It is a woman. I can make my own decisions. I'm not going to be told what I can and cannot do. We started saying I love you to each other. And now I'm leaving immediately for 2.5 weeks. I mean, this gives us no time together to hug and kiss and just be good.
A bit confused though. First and foremost, obviously, because she goes about, I'm a woman, I can do whatever I want. I won't be told what to do. I won't lie to you. In a relationship, you're going to be told what to do. In every relationship, everybody knows this, right? Sometimes your wife is going to tell you what to do, your girlfriend's going to tell you what to do, and sometimes your boyfriend's going to tell you what to do, sometimes your husband's going to tell you what to do. It's the way of a relationship. That is how a partnership works. To sit there and say, well, ain't no man, or you ain't going to tell me what I do because, you know, I'm an independent person and, you know, I'll be able to carry my own self. Oh my goodness. Leave that shiz at home. Leave it somewhere. Don't come into my life and tell me that I cannot tell you or advise you or suggest things to you because you don't want to be told what to do. You don't want to hear suggestions. Blah-de-da-de-da-de-da. And to be honest with you, I know I keep saying it, delivery is key, but I do wonder though, even if he delivered it in a better way, I still believe that her responses would have been the same, because she sees anything as an attack that means that she is put in a position where she may not do something that she wants to do, even though that thing may not be helpful for a relationship. Ladies and gentlemen, let me remind you of one simple thing. This man went to a bar after their date, went to a bar, and she had a whole meltdown about him going to a bar, so much to the point she told her cousin, and then got her cousin to literally corner this man and grill the hell out of him because he went to a bar after the date. She literally went and danced with a whole other man, and also saying that I'm going to dance with not as many men, but I'm going to dance with whoever the hell I want to, even when I go away too. Going to a bar to have a drink is nowhere near as bad as literally I'm going to go dance with people. Because it means his intention was to go to a bar to have a drink and chill. Your intention is, I'm going to go dance with anyone. At least that's how she has said it. But nonetheless, though, this thing I don't understand. I don't know why the word love is involved with these two. Fair enough, they've known each other for about 1.5 years, but why is there the word love lingering around? You haven't even been intimate yet. And I'm not saying you need to be intimate before you say the word love or whatever. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that post-nut clarity is a thing for many men. So yeah, just saying the whole love thing being a thing is weird to me, especially given the fact that they clearly have so many issues. So how do you involve love when you have so many issues happening? Hell, lady, you just said you don't want to be told what to do, but yet you want to say in the same breath that me and him have been telling each other that we love each other. Wow, make that make sense. But nonetheless, though, let's get into the next one. The next one here is all about Cortney.
It's you.
Me, before I played this though, when I was playing this, I was like, why do I feel like Cortney, her mum and her dad literally always share the same brain? Even when I closed my eyes, I feel like I was listening to the same person, just with slightly different tones of their voice, because you can tell the difference when they speak, right? But I was listening to it, I was thinking, these three are clones. Sorry, anyway.
I think you're strong enough, but when you cast that fishing line and reel you back in and you know he's going to try.
It's about you. He's just using you once again.
I feel he can't use me because I'm offering help. I'm offering to do this for him. I want to do this for him. So it's like me, he's playing himself.
He's playing himself. Darling, you are going to the airport to pick him up, to chauffeur him to his location. And in that position, he gets a chance to be able to talk to you and try and manipulate you back into his life. But okay. Whatever makes you feel good at night, Cortney. Whatever makes you feel good at night. And the parents, you know how they all speak so soft and they're all just like delicate of everything. Oh, isn't it just adorable?
Then how far are you going to take this?
I just want to, get him from the airport to the hotel.
Right.
Crying and stuff I've been doing. I think it's just like feeling sorry for him. Like he might be permanently disabled. So I cry more about his leg than about him.
Whether or not he's going to be permanently disabled or not, and you can talk about crying for him, blah, blah, blah. Darling, did he give a damn when he was literally texting the girl from Brazil? The whole time when you was being his nurse, you was being his caretaker? Come on now. The whole time when he wouldn't even sleep with you, but yet you happily, enjoy any sexual treats that you had for him?
But I'm going to feel when I see him. We had such a deep, intense connection, and you can't just turn that off.
Honestly, like after meeting Connor's parents, I know exactly why she's the way she is. The way her parents are so delicate and soft with everything, even when they're giving her the advice, yeah, but just remember though, he may take he may take advantage of you again, he's gonna bring you back in. And then Courtney talks, she's like, well, like if he does. Sorry, I don't know why I find this so funny. I shouldn't be taking. It's just that sometimes like when you listen to something, and you're not looking at the screen, and then you're like, I'm sure I'm listening to the same person. I mean, tone's a little bit different, but I'm sure I'm listening to the same brain. And you look, and you're like, hold on a minute, there's 3 people on my screen. What the hell's going on here? Yeah, Cortney is definitely a product of her parents. Definitely. And I love the fact that they've given her such a big heart, but at the same time they've also given her such a delusional mindset. And then also on top of that, they clearly have lacked giving her a backbone, because well, when it comes to them trying to address things with their daughter, instead of saying no, you will not go and pick up that boy from the airport, they're like, okay, just be careful he doesn't roll you back in though, okay? We trust your judgment. Hell no! You need to be telling her just not do that. You have to tell her, no. You are not gonna go and see that man. If you go and you pick up airport, understand when you come back to this home, your bag's gonna be outside and the keys are gonna be chained, because we ain't letting you back until you come to your goddamn senses. Something along those lines. They need to give this girl tough love. They need to toughen her up, because they've made her so soft like them. This is why your daughter's still living at home and now she's still so single, because you've made her so freaking fragile, so freaking vulnerable, so freaking gullible. Okay? Yeah, anyway, let me know your thoughts on that one, because boy, there's nothing reality ready with this family when it comes to just letting her daughter know that she is simply moving mad. But hey, let's dive into the last one anyway. Kimberly. I gotta say, this storyline has been one hell of a freaking bore. I am so bored of this adoption blah 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 blah. So therefore, I ain't commenting on none of the adoption part. I'm gonna need to comment about what happens here.
Help in that one faster. The men you've met, they're so nice to you in the beginning, and they trap you because you get stuck and you fall fast.
Yeah.
So luckily, when
Thing that I don't understand, right? Yeah, I wonder how many times Jamal had conversations with his mum to let her know that basically most men are going to basically want to use you because, well,
I'm there, maybe remember to not give too much in the beginning because
Yeah.
you do that all the
for
time.
sure.
Yeah.
Use you because, well, I mean, like, everything about you screams, I can be used. That's the most polite way I can say what I'm saying here. I wonder if he's ever tried, or how many times he has tried to indirectly say to her, men are always predominantly going to use you because of just you. And that, when I say that, that's covering everything. I'm covering personality, aesthetics, vibe, energy, the whole shebang. I truly wonder, because that's what she needs to hear in this conversation, to be honest. And I feel like he was trying to say that, but he's trying to be very soft with it. But you know what, though? He needs to really give her a good bollocking. Jamal's probably the only man, and maybe Larry now is probably the only men in Kimberly's life that if she's ever going to listen to anyone, maybe those two be the only ones. So one of them two need to, well, especially Jamal, but he knows her. He's lived with her, you know what I mean? He needs to say to Kimberly, hey, listen, mum, men are always going to treat you the way they treat you and always going to use you because of the way you present yourself, okay? All right? You're always desperate. You're always quick to want to believe everything they want to say, okay? You're always buying them things. You're probably quick to want to open your legs, okay? And then also on top, you have stupid standards like height, okay? You have all these morals that don't make no sense, okay? You're making, you literally leave it on a plate for men to walk in and just abuse you, okay? As a son, that's what you should say. I mean, obviously, some of us would also add other information, you know, like the aesthetic side of things. But, you know, I'm going to leave that one alone. I need to drag someone's looks, to be honest with you, you know what I mean? But let's just put it this way. Sometimes the way someone looks can also be how someone targets you. And to be fair, when I say that, even if you can be like a stunning person, but some people may just want to be like, you know what? I just want to be able to know, I just want to be able to sleep with them, that's it. I know she's stunning, but that's... There are men out there that when they have an agenda of what they want, like for example, Elise is a woman. Let's take Elise and let's take Kimberly. Now I may dig a hole real quick here. You know what I mean? But it is what it is. I'm just putting you on game on how the mind works. Do what you with this information. You got a woman like Elise, for example, okay, right? Petite, you know what I mean? A very good looking face, all that type of stuff, right? You got a woman like Kimberly, okay? Not so petite, yeah, you know, faces, whatever, you know what I'm saying, politely. But here's the thing, both of them give off a very similar energy. They give off an energy of that I am more than happy for you to come into my life, to abuse me, to manipulate me, to use me, to take my money, to just do whatever you want. There's an energy that they give off, okay? Right? Now, they don't give it off in the same way, but there's an energy. This is something that needs to be pointed out. Because I tell you this now, some people may think, oh, if a woman isn't necessarily attractive, it must mean that men look at her as a prey. That isn't necessarily the case. Because there are some women that may not look attractive, but they hold themselves up at a high regard. I mean, always walking like, yeah, I am who I am. And a man will take it seriously. And then there's women who can look the part, like Elise, but then they have this attitude that a man looks and be like, girl, like, I mean, you're good looking all that, but you ain't all that. Like, calm yourself down. Let me humble you real quick. You know what I mean? Like, it can happen, but it depends on, and you're giving. But Kimberly will never be awake to recognize the energy she gives. Same way as Elise. You see, the difference between Kimberly and Elise is that Kimberly's motives are more based on the fact that because she lacks confidence within her image, she's going to give off this energy of, I can be used. Elise, on the other hand, she's one of those people who's like, well, because I'm confident in my image, I'm going to use my image to get what I want. Do you see what I'm saying? Okay, so Kimberly's like, I'm going to use everything else away from image, like money and, you know, and being super careful, all that kind of stuff. Elise is why I'm going to use my looks to get what I want. But the problem is that neither one of them are actually using one very key thing. And that's the thing I said a second ago. The one key thing is, listen, I am who I am. I respect myself. I love myself. I have my own boundaries. Okay? You take me as I am, you know what I'm saying? But of course, hold yourself at a high regard. High regard. Which, to be fair, I would argue and say Vanja has that to a certain degree. The problem is Vanja has it overdosed. You see what I'm saying? She has it overdosed. Which is why she's single. She hasn't got the balance. But hey, it is what it is. But then again, no. This is how the men and women of 90 Day Fiancé are, though. They all have these traits. This is why they're on 90 Day Fiancé. The ones that are repetitively on 90 Day Fiancé, to be more specific. Yeah, not the ones that come and disappear. Give or take. But anyway, with that being said, do what you will with the information that I've given you. And thank you so much for your lovely time. And I will catch you guys in the comment section. Please don't forget to hype the video, subscribe, and yeah. Peace. Have a good day.